Hey folks, ever since I bought the HD 6950 last year, one of the most featured benchmarks on this channel has been Crysis 3. Why? Simply put, even years after its initial release, it's still a graphical powerhouse, and the shining light of graphical fidelity that can only really be seen on the PC. Just take a look at the console versions of the game and compare them to the image quality you'll get on a simple £20 GPU, see what I mean. So far though, we've learned two things from benchmarking this game. Firstly, not even the mighty RX 480 with its overclocked GPU and with its 8GB of memory buffer can tame the game at very high settings with anti-aliasing enabled. And secondly, it's definitely a title that seems to favour nvidia cards. So with the recent purchase of a 980 Ti, do we finally have a card here that can tame Cryteks Beast of a game? Well, let's boot it up on the overclocked Ryzen 7 system and see what we get. So today we're going to be running it at 1080p on the very high preset with 2x SMAA turned on and 16x anisotropic filtering to ensure a beautifully polished graphical experience. But how about the frame rates? Well, I've left the on-screen display from MSI Afterburner on for reference, so you might already have an idea of how the game performs. But throughout the whole Welcome to the Jungle chapter, which is notoriously GPU intensive, the 980 Ti averaged out at almost 100 FPS at 97.2, with 1% lows of 59.8 and 5% lows of 68.9. What this means is even on the most demanding chapters, there were only very few times where that frame rate dipped below 60 FPS. Taking a look at the readouts from the previous chapter, which is a much more enclosed level of the game, paints an even brighter picture for the 980 Ti. During this chapter, we returned an average of 107.9 FPS, with 1% lows of 96.5 and the lowest 5% averaged out at 97.3. The difference between these two runs perhaps showing the importance of doing multiple benchmark runs at multiple different locations. Overall then, the average of both chapters, which were completed in roughly the same amount of time, give or take a few seconds, gave us an average of 102.5 FPS, with the average 1% minimums of 78.1 and the average minimum 5% coming out at 83.1. For those interested, the absolute minimum frame rate we've seen through these two runs was a 1 frame dip to 53 FPS in the Welcome to the Jungle chapter, and it was actually one of only 2 frames that strayed below 55 FPS. So blistering pace, and a beast that's finally been tamed it seems, although this does actually present a nice opportunity to start to dabble into super sample resolutions. But that's perhaps a video for another time. This card so far, it's really impressing me, and it was an absolute steal for £100 less than I sold that RX 480 for. But when you get to this stage, it does make you start to question if you need that much graphical horsepower under the hood. Obviously the enthusiast in me is screaming yes, but the realist in me is perhaps saying no. I've played this game through on sub 100 GPUs, I've played it through on sub £20 GPUs, and I've still thoroughly enjoyed it. The graphical polish is obviously nice, but if the game underneath is a turd, well, I'm sure there's a saying about that somewhere. Thankfully Crysis 3 though, it's a great title. And for now, I'm going to keep playing with all the bells and whistles turned on and lock it at 60 FPS for that silky smooth experience. But I'd love to know if any of you guys have ever felt that your GPU was being underutilised, or if any of you guys have made that jump to 1440p or 4K monitors. Also, let me know what kind of data you guys actually want to see in the benchmarks on this channel, and which numbers you find most useful. During these runs there's always a digital sack of numbers that never actually makes it onto these videos, so be sure to let me know what you want to see. Anyway folks, thanks for watching this quick look at the 980 Ti on Crysis 3, remember to use those thumbs, and I'll see you all in the comment section below, and in the next video.